Legislative priorities. In the state of Washington, we need to adopt a system whereby certain diagnostic tests are presumptively going to be covered by the Department of Labor and Industries when ordered by a licensed practicing physician. For example, if somebody goes to their physician, they've been injured, say they have a low back injury, they've been despite having had conservative therapy for 3 to 6 months, they've been having problems with pain shooting down one of their legs, and they go to the physician, and the physician says, you know what, that's a classic case for, let me go take an MRI. Well, the MRI costs $1,000 or somewhere in that range, and the Department of Labor and Industries says, no, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I want to be a child. I don't want to do it. And so what happens? The injured worker gets denied the MRI. The injured worker instead gets shuttled over to a vocational counselor who says, well, based on the evidence available, what happens? You can go back to work. An appeal ensues, and the injured worker goes to the Board of Industrial Insurance Appeals, where naturally the state, though it's defending with 51 full-time attorneys that are dedicated to nothing but the defense of the terrible decisions made by the Department of Labor and Industries, 51 full-time attorneys can't prevent the judge from looking at the situation and saying, of course the injured worker gets an MRI. So the case screams back. Now it's been another 9 months. The injured worker's care has been delayed. The longer you remain without care, when you've got a real problem that is then magically found on the MRI, just like it was suspected to exist, it's found on the MRI. Now the injured worker is that much worse off, has taken that much more time off of work, is that much harder to get back to work, is that much harder to treat to get out of pain, is that much harder to treat to rehabilitate for perhaps neurological damage that has resulted from long-term impingement in the lumbar spine that could have been decompressed had somebody just simply ordered this stupid picture and allowed the injured worker to get treatment quickly. Now, this happens every day in the state of Washington. This is not an uncommon scenario. It happens so frequently that it's disturbing. And other states saw it happen too, and other states wisely have moved to a system whereby if something like an MRI or a nerve conduction velocity test is being ordered, if something is diagnostic in nature and has a certain value limit that's at a low enough threshold, it is presumptively going to be deemed allowed because a licensed practicing physician has recommended it in the scenario that the injured worker finds themselves. We need to move to that kind of a system in Washington state because manifest injustices are happening on a continuous basis where the department is having a nurse do a utilization review and override the recommendation of an orthopedic surgeon, a neurosurgeon, an occupational medicine doctor, a physiatrist, you name it, a chiropractor who's been treating backs their whole life, okay? And a nurse with no practical treatment experience can say, no, you can't have that MRI that's been recommended by your licensed practicing medical provider. This system is obscene. It costs us more than it saves in claim suppression and other putative savings. Those savings are illusory. They don't really exist. More damage is done than is saved. We've got to change the system, and it's got to be a legislative priority. Thank you.